And thus the shenanigans ends.
Yaakov, that's what happens. You go back to the regular schedule. I forgot,
I hear you. Okay.
Want to do it tomorrow or leave it alone? Yaakov, you want to do it tomorrow?
Okay, so chaza from yesterday. What?
Want to do it tomorrow or leave it alone?
Find out from the oil if they could do it. What's tomorrow?
What I have.
Wednesday.
I know that. I'm just wondering what I have. I think I should be able to do it.
Okay, I'll let you know in the morning.
Okay, so now to chaza from yesterday. Tonight, so we should really get going because there's a lot of halacha l'maisa tonight. Yeah.
Is it the most important?
Not the most. I didn't say the most important, but there's a lot of halacha l'maisa there tonight. Okay, so tzadi dalid. Right. So, what the scenario is for carrying out a utensil, meaning happy to be chayav on the utensil and the food that's in the utensil. And then we said we had the whole sugi of chaim noisei atzmai, and we said by animals there's a machlokes, but by humans everybody holds chaim noisei atzmai. Then on Beis we went through Reb Shimon's shita of malacha she'eina tzricha legufa, and then we said you can remove a dead body to a carmelis for covered abrius. The covered abrius being, and meaning the covered abrius is doichen aloisa, and the Torah aloisa is not listening to the chachamim because it's only a derabbanan to carry to a carmelis. And then we had a machlokes if you're chayav for removing partial tumah or not, meaning if you have to take a chatzi zayis, so would you be chayav on that? Then the Mishna said cutting hair, nails, mustache, beard, and the hand with the hands or the teeth is a machlokes if you're chayav or not. And then we had the same disagreement for braiding hair and putting on makeup. All right. We said when cutting nails with a kli, everybody holds that's also min Torah. That's what I texted out for the halacha of the day. And then we said when you cut the nails, a friend is allowed to cut the nails. All right. Fine. So then that's what we're up to the two dots. Right there on Sunday, Dalit on the day is the two dots. Yeah. Sunday on the on the two dots. The chain siren, right? It's also the hair.
Yeah.
Got it. Second wide line
down.
down. Second wide line down. Side down on the base. Yeah. Okay. Ready? If you take a full scissors worth of hair, that's how much you have to take to be chayav. Kama. How much is that? How much is the full mouth of a scissors? It's 2 hairs. We learned in a brisa that says the isser that you're not allowed to pull out your hair for a mace. That we said is 2. Mashma. Right? Mashma that other things it's not 2. So ema b'chein lekar chashtayim. No, it means and also for pulling out hair is 2. Fine. Tani ami hachi anoito malay pizug b'Shabbos. If you take out a scissors full of hair on Shabbos yichai b'kama malay pizug. How much is the mouth of a scissors? Shtayim. That's 2. Rabbi Lezer Aimer Achas. Rabbi Lezer says it's 1. If you're going to pull out a white hair from amongst black hair, then even on one you are going to be chayav. The davar zeh af b'chol aser, and for a male to do that even during the week is aser. A man should not wear a woman's clothing. Right, so therefore that's why you're not allowed to pull a white hair out from amongst black hair if you are a male, because that's something that you do for beauty. Males don't do anything for beauty, right? The most common application of this, and I get this shaila every other week for sure, is a man taking care of his unibrow. Can he wax his unibrow or not? Believe it or not, that's I get this question very, very often. All right, and it comes from women that are bothered by their husband having it, and it comes from husbands being bothered by it. All right, whatever that says for the state of our male situations.
How about dyeing hair? Once we're talking about it,
Males dyeing hair, same thing.
Same issue.
Same thing, not allowed. So now the poskim do say that if it's a mum, remember we had this taisus like I don't know, a month or two ago. The taisus says that a mum, right? If it's a mum, that's a tsar, and then you would be able to because it's not for beauty. So if it's really, really, really causing the person tsar and busha because of it, then maybe there's a reason, right? But stam for looks, you're not allowed to do it.
So Yaakov, don't we say that nowadays men are much more into their looks than they used to be, and there's a side that you could say that it's not necessarily loisil bashkever because men are equally into it as women are, not equally, but to some degree.
No, but that's not the excuse. The heter would not be for that. Men are
I'm
not
asking,
supposed
why
to be
is
like.
it?
No, men are not supposed to be like women.
It's not tully. It's not tully in the zman. And what is the normal way?
No. What you're saying is if you get enough men that they do it,
that's what I'm saying.
Then it no longer becomes exclusive to women.
Right. So I'm saying, if enough men do this type of thing, like people don't like unibrows.
Yes, that's true.
That's just the normal thing to do. It's not really so much.
Yes, that would also be as long as you get enough men to do it. I'm not so sure we're there at that point yet, but I don't know.
But that would be tully. Everything, every single thing would be a separate.
Yeah,
cell,
so we
right?
use and Rebbe Kiva Eger, we said we use this goyim also as part of the equation. Okay, let's see. So Tanya Reb Shimon ben Elazar Omer. Tziparin Shapirush Root. Now these next 6 lines, if we have shir tomorrow night on our calendar, I really would probably have shir on this because it's mamish, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know if it's unbelievable, but Simon is not so important, but it's important, okay? It's not the most important, but it is something important. But if you hear from this sugya,
I think we got to borrow from City Field the applause meter, and we should do it with an importance meter. And we can have Rav Aaron Horowitz can manage it to see how far the importance is.
Can I do like send out one of these signs? No, right?
Parrots, that's one of the things I hate. So don't,
I could do like because that's not an old school thing, parrots. Maybe I should send out either a clapping, like to tell everybody that it's time to pay attention, or a thumbs up. I don't know. We'll have to work on that.
Or we could shoot T-shirts.
Yeah. Okay. As long as you don't have the kissing cam. Parrots, no kissing cam, all right? Fine.
With or without eyebrows.
Anyways, here we go. So Tani Reb Shimon, this is mamish a microcosm to see how come we end up paskening different things in Shulchan Aruch. So Tani Reb Shimon Elazar Tzipair and Shapirish Ruba. If you have a fingernail that most of it is separated, right? Meaning, sometimes you have a nail, you cut your nails and you miss some of it, so most of the nail is off. The tzitzin, Shapir Sharuban, and you have tzitzin. Tzitzin is the skin around, what do you call it? Cuticles. Yeah? That's the skin around the nails. The yad mutter b'kli chayav. If you want, now again, mutter is an important term. It doesn't say, it says it's mutter, right? So you're allowed to peel it off with your hand. As long as roiv of the skin is off, you're allowed to peel it off. Side the skin of the hand and side the nail. Okay? The kli, but if you do it with a kli, chayav chatas, you chayav chatas. So Gemara says, mi kamidi, could it be the kli chayav chatas of a yad mutter lechatchila, that with a kli you chayav chatas and with a hand it's mutter lechatchila? That's too much of a, that's way too broad of an application. Meaning you do it with a kli, you chayav chatas, you do it with your hand, it's perfectly mutter lechatchila. No, so hachik kamer, this is what it means. Pirish ruban, if most of the skin is off and it's only hanging by a slight amount of skin, or most of the nail is off, so biyad mutter, to do with the hand is mutter, but kli patur aval aser. To use a kli is patur aval aser. Loi pirshu ruban, if most of the nail is not off, meaning only a little bit of the nail is off, or only a little bit of skin is off, biyad patur aval aser, to do with the hand is patur aval aser, but kli chayav chatas, with a kli you chayav chatas. Okay? So basically there's 2 levels. There's a nail, a hangnail as they call it, or hanging skin, right? If most of it is separated, then to do it with your hand, to pull it off with your hand or your teeth is mutter. If with a kli is aser, but you're not going to be chayav chatas, right? Your patur aval aser, that's the way it is. If it's not mostly separated, then with your hand it's patur aval aser, and with the kli is chayav chatas. Got it? Some of you the halacha Reb Shimon ben Elazar, the halacha is like Reb Shimon ben Elazar. Amar Rav Yochanan Rabbi Yochanan, v'hu shapirshu klape mala It's not stam if your fingernail is most of the way peeled off. It has to be mitzar you. It has to be separated towards the top, right? Which we'll see in a second what that means. And it has to cause you pain. If it's causing you pain and it's separated at the top, then you are allowed to pull it off on Shabbos. Okay? So now, what does klape mala mean? Is klape mala here? Here we go. Yeah? Maybe I should use the thumbs up. Right? Where's the thumb? There we go. Okay. Is klape mala the top part of the finger, right? Or is it the hand side of the hand? Okay, here, like this. Is it here? This end of the thumb, or is it more towards here, right? So Rashi says, what is it? Klape mala, the fourth line up from the bottom in the Rashi. Klape mala litzad hatzipoiren hischilu lifrosh. It's towards the side of the nail. It began to separate the kamatzar leitfei, because there it causes you a lot of pain. Okay, and Taisus, now look at Taisus, the third Taisus up from the bottom. Pusha Pirshu Klape Mala, Pirish Bekuntrus, Keneged Rashi Etzba'is of Shein Lamala, towards the top of your fingers, Shein Lamala Kishamabia Yoda. When you pick up your hand, so it's the upper part. Rabbeinu Tam Farish Cheklape Guf Kari Klape Mala. It's the other side, and where the nail hits the rest of the finger, not towards the top of the nail. Right? So, okay, that's so basically we have a machlokes, Rashi and Taisus, two opposite sides of the nail. Rashi says it's the top of the nail, and Taisus says it's more down here, right? So now, how do we paskin? So of course, Shulchan Aruch paskins l'chumra, both ways. You got to go like Rashi and like Taisus. This is what I was saying, that it makes a difference. Now again, this is only negeya to the cuticles. The nail, it goes this way, so that's not what we're talking about. So therefore, the psak is very clear. If you have your nail, a hangnail, and it's just the nail, so then and it's bothering you, so on Shabbos you're allowed to peel it off with your finger. That's halacha l'maisa, mutter to peel off the nail if it's just the nail. If it's the skin that's peeling off, so now it depends. If you go according to Rashi, so the part that's hanging over here is mutter, but the part over here is aser. According to Taisus, the opposite. So therefore, Shulchan Aruch says we have to be machmer like both Rishonim, and therefore skin cannot be peeled on Shabbos even if it's bothering you. Okay, that's the real halacha l'maisa to take from this. Again, nails that are most of the way off and are bothering you, you can peel them off on Shabbos. Skin that's peeling, you cannot pull off on Shabbos unless nothing. Now there is a prima godim that says that if the skin is totally removed and it's only attached like in the middle, meaning both sides, it's like a chapped piece of skin, right? And both ends are detached and it's only in the middle, it's only attached like in the middle, and it's really bothering you, then you could pull it off according to the prima godim, but it's really not preferred. So that's really the difference between peeling nails and peeling dry skin off. Yeah, I hope that's clear. But
Yaakov.
What would happen if there's a chance you can bleed?
Now, as long as you don't know for sure you're going to bleed, then you would be okay. But if you know that you're going to bleed or there's a decent chance, then you shouldn't do it. Right? What are you saying?
I saw Taisus is bringing Gemara in Nida. So
right.
We just have to do with a chatzitza. You can have a chatzitza. Let's say the nail is supposed to be off or not off, or this dry skin could have anything to do with that.
The Gemara neither the Taisus brings is talking about the aver, where you're allowed to touch on the aver. Is it the end of the aver? Right, because you're not allowed to touch your aver with your hand when you go into the bathroom. So is it talking about the end of the aver? Which end of the aver is it talking about? Towards the body or towards the thing? But yeah, chatzitza also plays into this 100%. Let's say a woman goes to mikveh Friday night or Yom Tov. Thank you for reminding me. Actually, I wanted to discuss it. A woman goes to the mikveh, she forgot to cut her nails. Right. So what do? Do we let her go just cleaning the nails, or do we allow her to peel her nails because it's a rabbanon, meaning she could cut them with her fingers, or do we get a guy to do it? The popular psak is that we allow a guy to do it, preferably. This is a little strange, preferably without a nail cutter, meaning the guy should cut the nails with her finger. The mikveh here does have a guy on call, so for these type of situations, but that's the preferred thing. But it really doesn't. The women are very unhappy about a woman. I mean, you can just imagine, right? Anyways. Okay, weiter. We go from one woman's issue to another woman's issue, right? So making braids in the hair. So gedeles, kocheles, and pekeses. Yeah, 4 lines up from the bottom, right? So braiding and kocheles is putting on makeup. Or pekeses is also some sort of another type of braiding in the hair. Why are you chayav? Amar Rav Avin, Amar Rav Yosef, Rav Chanina. Gedeles mishum ireges. To how do you call it? Not to weave. To what did I just say? I'm saying to take the hair and make it into like
braiding.
You said. Thank you. Right, thank you. Gadelas braiding is mishum ireges is the same thing as weaving. Kecheles mishum koseves. Kecheles putting on makeup is because it's like riding. Pekeses is another type of hair braiding type thing. Mishum tava is because of spinning. Is that the way you weave? You don't weave with hair. You weave with clothing, with garments, right? Do you write on the body? That's not the regular derech to write. Is that the way to spin? I was told what Rabbi Yosef Rachanina said. To put on makeup is tzviya, which I don't really get because tzviya is ksiva. Right? I mean, well, I guess not. It's a different one of the lamites malachas. So, okay, I don't know. How do you draw the line with what's ksiva? Okay, whatever it is, what's ksiva, what's tzviya, fine. Goidelis apekesas mishum baina. It's because of building. Because you do.
But can't you ask the same questions?
Who?
Can't you ask the same question?
What does that mean?
Is this the same way that you build with hair? Is this the same way that you dye with hair?
Oh, the Gemara says v'chiderach binyan bekach.
Oh,
very good.
So Yaakov, how is kecheles ksiva? Where are you writing letters? Forget about derech. You're not writing letters. How's that ksiva at all?
It's not ksiva. That's what Gemara is saying.
No, I'm saying it's not even derech. You didn't write a letter. The Gemara has.
You're saying that's what it's tzevas. That's what it's tzevas.
No, I'm saying it's not even an issue of derech. You didn't. The Gemara has a share of 2 letters you have to write. You didn't write any letters. You just
no. But Rashi says she's outlining her eye like you trace a letter. Like
so what? You didn't write the letter. You could say it's but you didn't do it.
Considered a circle.
Maybe it's ain't a malacha. It's not a real malacha.
No, maybe it's like a 0. Maybe it's like making a 0. No.
Didn't we have it? It was a problem for makeup on one eye and the other one.
That was the measurement for that's good. You remember that. That's the measurement for the amount of dye to carry it out on Shabbos.
And we said that if we did one, it was okay, not the other one. But here it seems to be saying altogether you can't do it.
No, right. But that was just what the normal shear is during the week. Whatever amount of makeup you put on during the week. So if you carry that out, then you'd be chayav on that for carrying. Right? So Gemara says, so yes, it is. Right? So it means that Hashem braided Chava's hair when she brought him to Adam. And because overseas they call the word kliyasa building. Okay, so we're saying that it's tzviya for makeup and building. So Tanya Rav Shimon Lazar, if she does any of these 3 things, she's patur, it's patur aval aser. But if she does it for her friend, then she is going to be chayav. A woman cannot put makeup on her face because it's dying, right? Now, what about Shabbos makeup? We can't hawk around for too long because there's a lot to do here. But what's with Shabbos makeup, right? So the Shabbos makeup.
I heard you were about to it.
Yeah, that's what they say. I'll tell you on Maisa what happened with the Shabbos makeup. But most poskim are anti-Shabbos makeup. However, there are some Shabbos makeup companies, and they're Saimach on Reb David Feinstein's son-in-law, who gives guidelines based on Ramosha that you can take colored, powdered makeup. Powder that would just enhance the look of the face without dyeing the face, that would be mutter. Meaning it just brings out the natural color of the body. That would for sure be mutter according to all, if it's a powder. But if you have colored powders, can you put them on? So there's a whole list of halachas that you have to do with these things. I actually looked it up on the website today because I've had ladies that sent me the guidelines, and one of them says Rav Hainim in big. You can't even make this up. I should have printed it and sent it out. Maybe I'll do it onto the chat. It says Rav Heinemann's guidelines for Shabbos makeup, A, B, C, D. And then the bottom says, by the way, Rav Heinemann does not allow Shabbos makeup. But if you were to do it, this is the way to do it.
Right.
You can't even make it up. But anyway,
wait, I don't understand. We're worried with everything in Yiddishkeit that what if someone sees you with this and they're going to think you do it that way and we make an exception with makeup?
Well, listen, I don't
You're
know.
not supposed to be looking at ladies. So what's hacks their cup, Jesse?
Hey, he's talking about the ladies looking at the ladies.
That's not our problem.
Oh, you're saying it's
but
a
it
lady
is in
issue.
a lot of other halachas, like earrings and stuff like that. They'll take it off. They won't take it off.
No, in a Hanami, and the directions are so what do you call it? Are complicated. You cannot have any makeup on before because then the makeup sticking to makeup and that's dyeing. And you got to use separate brushes and you can't mix the dye. It's a whole complicated procedure, but they're basing it on that it's just powder and it doesn't get into the skin. It doesn't get into the skin. It just stays on top of the skin.
Can I just point out a historical fact for a second, though?
Uh-huh.
It used to be that makeup was like super bad for you and would burn the heck out of your skin, like chemically burn your skin. It's like they use like lye and things like that to make the way it says in the art scroll Gemara rouge, which is like I guess goes here. It would chemically burn your skin. This stuff is just powder with some color to it. There's a big difference on application and function.
What do you mean? It's not going to work as well. Is that what you're saying?
It's a different function.
You're saying it's healthier.
It's like if you were to keep slapping your face the same time in the same spot over and over again until that part turn red. That's what that stuff is doing to your skin. Whereas this, you're just using a powder with a color to it. I've seen what my wife uses. It literally is just a powder. It has zero similarity to the stuff that they used, with the exception of the fact that it colors and women use it to.
Right. So that's the question. So is it okay or not? So there are poskim that allow it. Most don't like it, but there are poskim that do allow it. Part of it is based on, can you really say that it's dyeing the skin or not? Okay. Let's see about it. Yeah. Ton Rabbanan. Next woman issue. Right? If you milk, yes? Yeah, you milk a cow or a woman nursing, and that's to make milk into cheese, right? And I don't know how you touch the megavan. That's type of right? If it's a type of also something you do with cheese. Anybody have an art school there that has the touch of that?
Mechabitz means to basically make whey. They would squeeze out the milk, coagulated milk,
from the stomach of the animal. Right?
Right, in some wicker container, something to strain it, and then the megabe means just to make cheese.
All right, so for the one is Mechabitz is the first step, megaben is the second step. Okay, so the amount is kigroigris, also like a dried fig. Yeah. Now what? So that's the amount to milk. So milking is an issa deraisa. So if a woman has to pump on Shabbos, it's really not pashut to pump. So what we tell them to do is, as long as the milk goes liable, it becomes disgusting. So then it's a derabanan, and then b'makam tsar, if the woman feels the pain, so she has to pump. So you put soap into the bottle, and then the milk goes straight into the bottle. But let's say the baby needs the milk, like with a preemie or whatever. So some place can want to say is do it less than a groigris. Less than a groigris, right, is memela, not a shear. So memela, you're allowed to do it. That's just the practical. That's the only real time I find the practical application of doing something, of knowing the exact measurement of a shear on Shabbos. Fine. Right? So hamechabit is to sweep the house. Right? A marabitz is to take, because they had dirt floors, so they put water down. Oh, this is what it was, Baron. Right? Mamish is what they do in baseball stadiums. I knew that. Right? But Maravitz, right? They don't want the sand, so you got to water down the infield.
Right.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, I knew there was something. Right? So you got to water down the infield. So that's what they had to do in their houses too. Right? And to take the honeycombs down. Shogag b'Shabbos chayav chatas. If you did it on shogag and Shabbos, chayav chatas. Is it b'Yom Tov? If you do it on Yom Tov on purpose, like our Rabban, you get 40 months. Still regular. Yes, sir? Both of these are only because they're only a shvus. They're both the Rabban. Fine. Rav Nachman bar Guya iklul and hardo. Rav Nachman bar Guya traveled on hardo. Bomine chayav b'shum mai mechayev. What is chayav? Why get making milk? Right? Why you chayav? Armalu mishum chayav. It's because of milk. Mechabitz mishum mai mechayev. Armalu mishum mechabitz. Megavan mishum mai mechayev. Armalu mishum megavan. Armalei Rabbi katil kani ba'agmahava. Your Rebbe is just cutting down reeds in the agam, which I don't exactly know what that phrase means, but it was not a positive thing. Because all he told him, right? It seemed like he was blowing him off. He said, "What's your chayav for megavan? What is your chayav for mechabitz?" Right? So he wasn't saying anything. So I don't know what that has to do with cutting down reeds.
Maybe it means
Because
you're wasting trees on what you're saying.
Oh, maybe is that the pshat?
I think it's the opposite. You're just cutting.
Because
You're cutting weeds in the middle of the swamp.
I hear.
You're doing nothing.
I hear.
You're accomplishing nothing.
You mean you're cutting reeds in it? Okay, I hear. I could hear both pshat. I didn't have any pshat, so it's better than anything I came up with. Right? Whatever it is, he was not very happy with this. Right? So also shol be midrasha. So he came. It's actually somebody right before the daf. A guy texted me, if a baby's sick, so for a bris, do you wait 7 days or 8 days after the baby gets better? So I said, ask a moil. Because I think this is a bacher who was asking this. It wasn't ask the moil. So yeah, but I'm just curious. Okay, you take your curiosity and take some, ask somebody else curiosity. This is for non-curious things. Okay, whatever. So maybe that's the same thing here. He said, "Why is it chayav? What's the difference? He's chayav because of that." Okay. Also, shol be midrasha. So he went to the Beis Medrash. He wasn't getting any results over there. So he went to the Beis Medrash. Amalei chaylev chayim mishum mefarek. Milking is chayav because you're separating, right? You're separating one thing from the other. You're separating the milk from the body. Mechavitz mechayim mishum boirer. Doing the whey is yichai because of boirer, because you're separating the milk. Megaven, and to make gvina is chayim mishum boina. That's yichai mishum boina. Right? And we paskin like all these. We do paskin like all these. That's why you're not allowed to make cheese on Shabbos, and you can't make cheese on Yom Tif, and you can't separate the whey and all that. Fine. So the sweeping the house or watering the floor of the house and taking down honeycombs, shogeg v'Shabbos chayav chatos. If you were shogeg on Shabbos, you chayav chatos. Hizit b'Yom Tif loy garboim. If you're amazing on Yom Tif, you get 40 miles. Because Rebbe Elazar, Amar Rebbe Elazar, my time with Rebbe Eliezer.
Why can't you make the cheese on Yom Tif?
Because it could have been done before. I mean, if you could have been, you should have done it before.
Okay, fine.
Right? Now, if you didn't make it on Yom Tif and you need it on Yom Tif, maybe, but the lechatchila certainly you should be made before Yom Tif, right? Because it's not going to get any worse. If anything, probably it tastes better, I think. Right? So, Omer Rebbe Elazar, my time with Rebbe Eliezer, d'chsiva yitval oisa beyaris dvash, and they toiveled her in the yaris dvash, in the far, literally translated as the forest of honey. What does a forest have to do with honey? Teaches you that just like if somebody detaches something from a forest on Shabbos, so too, if you take off a honeycomb on Shabbos, you chayav chatas. Fine. A meimar, and this, what do you call it? Yeah, okay, let's finish the Gemara and then we'll discuss it. Yeah? Ameimar shara zilcha b'mechuza. Ameimar allowed zilcha. Zilcha is, he allowed sweeping. And I don't know why the Gemara changes the lashon. Right? But they're washing the floor, the dirt floor on Shabbos. And mechuza. He allowed it in the city of mechuza. Amar taimamai, amar rabbanan dilma asli shviyah gumas. The reason why the Chacham didn't allow you to sweep your house and to put the water down on the dirt is because we're afraid you're going to have little holes in the floor. And you're going to even it out. So that's Ashuyeh Gumas, Achaleka Gumas. In Mechuzah, there's no Gumas, right? Meaning Mechuzah, I guess, was a fancier place, right? We had that a previous Gemara. Was that Mechuzah that we said is a fancy town? I don't remember. Right? So therefore, they didn't have any Gumas, so therefore there's no Gezerah. Okay? Which, by the way, this is very negated to us. Because what's our heter to sweep our floors? Right? Lamaisa Shulchan Aruch saying you're not allowed to sweep floors. So based on what Ameimar said in Mechuzah, it's allowed because they don't have any dirt floors or their dirt floors are higher quality. so therefore it doesn't apply. So us too, we also have dirt floors. We also have regular floors that don't have dirt. Shilas, what about outside? Let's say you have a patio that's a cement patio right next to your grass. Why is there no chashash that you might end up sweeping the grass? So there are places that say, Taka, you can't sweep that on Shabbos. Or a sidewalk. Let's say you want to sweep your sidewalk on Shabbos or Yom Tov, right? Which has got grass on either side. So maybe there's a chashash that you're going to end up sweeping the grass also. Right. So some places can do asirit, but most places can say that nowadays that we only have cement and we don't usually sweep grass, so therefore there's no chashash, right? But it is
had that fancy ladies crown thing. That was a mechuzah we had, right?
Yes, very good.
Right,
very good.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
See,
Welcome
I
back.
listened.
We missed you the last week. Welcome back. We missed you the last couple of days.
I'm on YouTube. That's where I am last week.
Yeah, all right. So Rava Tosva, by the Rava Tosva, Ashkil Ravina, they come mitzstar mehavala. He found Ravina that he was being mitzstar from the hevel, meaning Rashi says the dirt, the dust coming up from the ground of his house was causing him pain. Right? And some say it was Markshisha Brei Rava that was having the pain. Ashkil Ravashi to come. I'm sorry. Some say it was Markshisha Brei Rava that found Ravashi to come. Don't you hold to the Bryson? This is a right to the Ravens. It's based on Shabbos. Maybe a Reva Malaya Mayim Varechats Pana Vazavizu Yada Vazavizu Ragla Vazavizu. This is the ultimate harama, right? It's because you have the dirt on the floor of your house. So what do? You wash your hands in one corner of the house, and then the water gets all over the dirt, and now it settles the dust. And then you go, and then you wash your face in another corner, and then that takes care of that corner. And then you wash your feet in another corner, and therefore you find that the house is going to be watered by itself, and you won't have any dust. Meaning, pull this shtick. I just didn't think about that. Meaning, so it was a good idea. Tana, and then we learn, Isha Chachama, Marbetzas Besa B'Shabbos, a smart woman can do this to her house by doing what? By washing dishes in all the different corners of the house. And then therefore, she ends up putting all the dust. It makes it wet and takes care of all the dust. But in the Sfira on Reb Shimon, Shari Afilu Lechatchila. And nowadays that we hold like Reb Shimon, which we hold is a davar she'eina mischaven is mutter, which we had many times, something that's unintentional is mutter, then it's mutter even lechatchila.
Why would it be mutter for us now?
Why would
Meaning, if you didn't hold like Reb Shimon, why would it be mutter at all?
No, because b'makam tsar, so they're going to allow a derabanan. That's what it was.
It's only a derabanan? Because davar she'eina mischaven. Davar she'eina mischaven.
Davar she'eina mischaven is sure only a derabanan, but yeah, they were going even. They were going not like Reb Shimon. If you go like Reb Shimon, then it's going to even be mutter. What's the obvious kasha, Gershon? I was expecting you to ask this. Maybe you check. Why isn't this a psik ratio? He's eating. Oh, I've added that. Good for you. I'm jealous, right? Isn't it a psik ratio? It's a psik ratio, isn't it?
Isn't it a kasha in almost every case?
If you're going to wash your hands on the floor of the house and you know it's going to settle the dust, so then you know that's not eina mischaven, that's a psik ratio. Right? That's like opening the door to your refrigerator and you know the light's automatically turning on. No?
I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to clear all the dust up. It's going to do a half a job.
But it's whatever job that it's going to do.
No, because it's not doing the complete job.
Huh?
Wait, what's the issue here? Mashvigumais?
Yeah.
So,
anyways, we're running out of time, but you got the second Tosfos. For anybody that's interested in seeing, the second Tosfos is a Geshmaka Tosfos that you're going to get. Because Tosfos basically says we're passing like two different Manda Omrim Lakula. Yeah, that's okay, but we're running out of time for that. But I don't think we'll get finished in time enough. Okay, let's see Vita, yeah? Zog the Mishna. Okay, now that's the end of the Geshmaka part of the halacha l'maisa and the Geshmak. Now we get into Simon, tumah and tara. Get ready. Okay.
With babies?
What?
With babies?
No carrying babies on the maze. Okay. If you detach from a otzitz nokuv, right? You have two different types of flower pots. You have one with a hole in it, one without a hole in it. So the one with a hole in it, right? So we look at it like it's attached to the ground. What about a flower pot that's not attached to the ground, has no hole in it whatsoever? So are you allowed to pick plants from it? Okay, so again, a toilish me'otzitz nokov chayav. If you detach a fruit, you pick a fruit or let's say a tomato from your tomato plant that has a hole in it, then you chayav. She'ein nokov patur. And if it doesn't have a hole in it, then you are going to be patur because it's not part of the ground. I mean, it's still usher, but you're patur. Reb Shimon patur b'zeh b'zeh. Reb Shimon, of course, says that both are patur, right? Any type of flower pot, you're patur. So the exact Gemara, Ramilei Abai l'Rabba, Abai asked the kasha stira to Rabba, Ramilei Reb Chia bar Rav, the Rav, and some say it was Reb Chia bar Rav, the Rav. It's not Reb Shimon patur b'zeh b'zeh. Reb Shimon says both cases are patur. Alma nakav l'Reb Shimon. That means Reb Shimon doesn't care about holes and not holes, and he considers even a flower pot with a hole, he treats it like a flower pot without a hole, meaning he considers it completely detached from the ground. The Ramin will ask you a stira. Reb Shimon says that there's no difference between a flower pot with a hole in it and a flower pot without a hole in it. Only to make seeds kosher. Right, now we need a little background to that. Basically, the halacha is in order for a fruit to become tameh, fruits or vegetables to become tameh, they first have to get wet. And they have to get wet with water that you want it to get wet with, and it also has to be detached from the ground. Right? So basically, that's why a lot of people are makpid that when they wash their fruits, they got to make sure to dry it because you don't want the hand being matama the fruit. So you dry it, right? Even though that really doesn't help so much. But the point is a fruit that was just freshly picked, that never had water on it, cannot become tameh, right? Oh, you're saying it got wet, it rained on the tree. That's when it was attached to the tree. So that doesn't count. So what about a flower pot? Does that have the same din too? Right? If you have a tomato in a flower pot, is that considered detached from the ground, and therefore if it gets wet, then therefore it can become tameh now? It has the ability to become tameh? Or do we say, no, it's still part of the ground? So we're saying that Reb Shimon is maida to, Reb Shimon seems to say that for it becoming tameh, he doesn't differentiate between the two. So Amar Lei, so that's the question. Amar Lei, l'chol mila Reb Shimon katalish mashvilei, and Reb Shimon considers even a flower pot with a hole in it as if it's detached. The shani linian tumah, but for tumah, the Torah ribs the Torah eitzel zrayim. The Torah used extra lashon by zrayim. Shenemar, I'll call zera zerua asher yizara. Right, there's 3 zeras there. So zerua is extra. So therefore, he says for zerua, that's coming to include a plant in a flower pot that it's considered detached on the ground. Fine. So who sabam Reb Zera? There's an elder asked from Reb Zera, Shirish keneged neked mali. What happens if there's a root? The root is right by the hole, right? So you have a hole in the bottom of the flower pot. Reb Shimon says we still look at it like it's not connected to the ground. Fine, but there's a hole right by the root of the flower, right? You have a flower growing in this pot. The root is right there, and then there's a hole, and so basically the root is growing into the ground, the natural ground. So what would Reb Shimon say in that case? Again, right? So shirish keneged neked. If the root is right next to the hole, how can Reb Shimon say Mali Yomer Reb Shimon? What would Reb Shimon tell me then? Would he also say that we look at it like it's detached from the ground? It's very clearly right up against the ground, right? So Ishtik v'lo Yomer le v'lo Midi, he was quiet and he didn't tell him anything. Zimna chada ashkei the Yosef Ka'amar. So then another time, this Saba, this elder, found him that he was sitting and said, Reb Shimon, if there's a hole in low enough that the kli would become tahar, then it would consider it part of the ground. Now, a kli, right? I actually watched a tour of Yerushalayim from somebody yesterday, and he actually discussed this. And in Yerushalayim, the kalim, they were constantly breaking kalim because kalim were coming tamei. How do you take a kli that's tamei, that's earthenware? How do you make it tar? You smash it, right? So, but let's say you smash a kli and you only smash the top part. Let's say a cup, right? So you smash the top part, you still have the bottom part that acts as a kli. right? So can you say that loses its tumah status? You have to break it towards the bottom. So what we're saying is here is that if you broke it on the bottom, kidei tarase, which would then make, meaning it's low enough that you would now, the entire kli would become tar because it's useless. So Reb Shimon says, if the hole is that low, that then it would be considered part of the ground. So that clearly seems to say that if you have a hole on the bottom with a root, then for sure Reb Shimon would say that it's considered part of the ground, right?
Is this the makar for people who open cans and they make a hole in the bottom of the can?
That's me creating a kli, I think, right? You're making it useless. You want to say the
but
bottom?
This shows me you make a hole in the bottom, it ruins the kli.
I hear. Okay. That's a good chiddush. It's a good chiddush. Yeah, I guess those pretzels had some power in them or something. Right? Yeah, I hear. I mean, it's more in a basic thing, but you're trying to one up it. I hear. Very good. So Amrlei. So good. So that's what he's Amrlei hashta shorish keneged neka. So now the Saba heard him say this. So this clearly answers the Saba's question, right? Again, because if Reb Shimon saying a hole on the side would make it that it's attached to the ground, so a hole on the bottom for sure. So right. So Amrlei hashta shorish keneged neka. Boy minoch v'loy Amrlei v'loy midi. I asked you about the root next to the hole. On the bottom, I asked it for you, you didn't tell me anything. If it's a hole with a kidei tarasi, which is going to be on the side or on the bottom, do I need to say? Of course, it's pashut. If you're going to say what Reb Zera said, this is what he should have said. If you make a hole on the bottom of the kli where it cannot hold the revius, sort of what the same thing that we just said, then Reb Shimon would agree that that's considered part of the ground. Okay? Okay, it's a short block tomorrow, so I guess we should stop here because this is a whole new sugya about tumah and tar. Yeah, we should be able to get it done tomorrow. Less practical halacha tomorrow. So, yeah. By the way, some say that Ahu Saba is always Eliyahu Hanavi. So, not everybody agrees to that, but some say that. Either way, all right. Have a good night.
What is an otzitz nakuv? Isn't the hole in the bottom? Isn't that the point of it?
What? No, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the bottom. If you look in Rashi, the last three words in Rashi and Amud Aleph. It says even if the hole is on the wall. What?
But now we're saying it's only in the wall.
No, they were trying to get Reb Shimon to be Maidim. In that case,
it was made in the bottom.
What? Well, that's what that's what. Yes, he would be made if it's on the. It ends up being that he would be made if it's on the bottom. Yes.
So the only case.
But it would have to be large. It would have to have. It can't. If it would be tiny, then not, because then it would still hold things. We're going to see in the next Gemara, depending on what it could hold.
But the whole case of an otzitz nakuv now, according to Shimon, is only when it's above a revius.
The chayra, yes, 100%. That's what it's saying.
Wow.
No?
I mean, today's otzitz nakuvs are all the holes are in the bottom.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's not really negated.
Well, then then you get into the question if it's on, I should have mentioned this, if you have it on cement, right?
Then it's tameh, not yonik.
No, so that's not, I think the Chazanish held it could be yonik. There's a whole mice in Bnei Brak where when somebody once asked the Chazanish, how could it be yonik? And it ended up being that his cement cracked and it grew a whole thing. I don't know, some episode story like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember. But yeah.
All right, Yashikayach.
All right. Have a good night, fellows.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Eliyah, I'll call you after Myra.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.